the season 2 of Lost Speedways on Peacock. As you look back on some of these long forgotten race courses, abandoned or overtaken by nature. And I watched one a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was great. You're like the Anthony Bourdain of racetracks. Where
Oh man, that's a great compliment.
Yes, and I want you to take it that way. You're not a NASCAR driver, former NASCAR driver. I mean, you're a good host, and you present it in a way that you're truly excited about what you find, what you discover, what you unearth. I mean, it's archaeological digs that we're finding with these racetracks, and it's enjoyable. You don't have to be a NASCAR fan. It's just about history. You're talking about people and places, and it's really well done.
Well, thank you. There's we produce it at Dirty Mo Media, which is a business that we started here, a production company that we created, and there's an interest in all of us with the abandoned and the things that are lost or left behind to be discovered again. We are all sort of interested in those things, and I know I get people laugh when I use this analogy, but I remember when they were looking for the Titanic for years, and they were never going to find it. It was an impossible task to discover where this thing was at, and they looked for it for decades. And finally, when they found it, I remember when I was a kid and seeing the images of this thing, and I mean, it just evoked so much interest and curiosity. We were all curious. Heck, we're still curious about that discovery. And so it's sort of the same thing, but it's in my little world of racing where we go back to these tracks, and we only go to the places where there's evidence, where you can actually see what the track looked like or the imprint of the track into the surface of the ground. And it's fun to really understand what they meant to those communities, the people that experienced the good times and when the tracks were thriving. And I'm not saying this because we're here together, but if I get any credit on my hosting abilities or anything that I do on my interviewing abilities, I have studied you, buddy. You're one of the best. I've told you that before. And I tell everybody that, when I'm working in the media side and broadcasting and so forth, that you're kind of the top of the mountain in terms of how to interview somebody, and you just do an amazing job. And so I have to say that, and I'll probably tell you that many, many more times going forward every time we're around each other. But I really appreciate you and the influence that you've kind of had on me as I've steered away from driving cars and gotten into the broadcasting side of it. It's been you've been a really helpful person and a very supportive person to me, and you probably don't even know that.
Well, what I always appreciated about you, Junior, is you were willing to listen. You didn't have all the answers. And I think that's the important part when you're trying to go into this business, is you don't know, but you're willing to listen and find out. And I always appreciated that.